Welcome, my name is Scott Engler. I'm the author of The Job Interview and Legends of the Recruiting and Career World. And today I want to talk about expectations and why I hate them. I hate when people talk about having high expectations or expecting the best. And what came up for me was actually, ironically, I've been listening to Oprah and Deepak Chopra. They do this 21-day challenge for different topics with guided meditations, and they talk about having, expect the best, expect this to happen. And while I certainly have a lot of the utmost respect for both of them as teachers and people, I'm guessing that I'm probably misinterpreting what they mean by that. But at the same time, for someone like me that may take that to be a little more literal than what their intention is, I don't talk to them, so I don't know. But I'll tell you from my experience and from a lot of other people that are successful and people that have more of a spiritual path they follow, why expectations could actually be really detrimental. And just based on my own experience, is when I have an expectation, it often leads to me feeling disappointed or frustrated or resentful if that expectation is not met the way that I think that it needs to be met. And so for me, when I think I expect to have the best employee, I expect to have the best article, I expect to have the nicest house or whatever wherever it could be, um, it feels kind of it feels like a striving for in my body is the best way I could say it. Maybe even slightly going to an entitlement. And I have one uh, guy I know that I like. He says um, having an expectation is like putting a down payment on a future resentment. Because what happens is for a lot of us, if we have these expectations, right? I expected my marriage to work out. Whatever it could be, so many different things. And then if we have that expectation and it doesn't get met the way that we think it's supposed to, then we're pissed off, right? And we feel victimized and upset and all sorts of different emotions. So what I was here to talk about today is what has seemed to help me more, because I do believe that what the intention behind what they're teaching is to really have a higher feeling of worth is what they discuss, and how that is aligned with having higher expectations. So that being said, what's some of the things that have worked for me better is to not use that word expectation, but instead I've started with believing I can. Because when I say I believe I can, or I'm open or allowing, so I'm allowing, the best employee to come to me, or um, I'm open to the idea of believing that I can make the best possible impact for my clients and have the best possible clients, whatever it is. When I use words like that, my body feels more open and I feel more optimistic, right? It doesn't feel as like for me, I feel constricted when I say I expect that this is going to happen, or sometimes it's like I expect to have this by this date, because that's where if you take it a little bit too extreme, that word, or just that thing of having like this high expectation, it could really lead to a lot of disappointment. So I did want to touch on that other aspect of it today. And those are some of the things that have just really helped me, so that when I say that, I'm open I'm open to other possibilities. Or another word I like is a preference. So I'm not demanding, right? I'm not saying I demand that I have, this job by this date, or I expect to have this salary by this time, or whatever it is, or I expect to have a wife that treats me, this way. It's just like, well, my saying like my preference is to have someone in my life that enhances it this way, or my preference is that I would be valued at my job and paid what I'm worth, what I believe I'm worth, and what I offer, what value I offer. So for me, those types of terms and words really create a more optimistic feeling and don't don't set me up to be pissed off or resentful. So that's what's helped me, and other people I know when they talk about, you know, the expectations leading to resentments, is to just really have a more open approach. You still state what you want and maybe what you're worth and what you will or won't tolerate. So those are different things, but to not have this, like, I think a lot of us, when we think of expecting it, just it becomes more narrow. And so I think when you allow for something bigger and more possibilities, that it keeps you more open. So that's all I got today. If you are interested in advancing or enhancing your career or business, please, I left my email below. It's buildingyourownbrand@gmail.com. Feel free to shoot me an email and we could set up a time to hop on the phone. All right, take care.